Considering that Hitman 3 is only days away, I thought this was a good one to start the video out on. When it comes to IO Interactive, I have a historic love for the company. The Hitman series is one of the last big-budget stealth games that is still going strong to this day. When fans are continually asking Ubisoft to make another Splinter Cell game, and with no new Metal Gear Solid entries on the horizon, the Hitman series is a strong pillar of stealth gameplay. And I mean true stealth gameplay, not the stealth that you find in many modern titles. On top of that, Hitman provides a wealth of content through its many different ways that you can play the level. You can take the time to learn your target's patterns and exploit their routines, mass murder everybody, slap them with a fish, and so much more. The most exciting aspect of Hitman 3 is how it's going to let you essentially import all the levels from Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2 2018 into Hitman 3 with improvements. So if you own the prior games, you will get the best versions of them in Hitman 3. This game is shaping up to be the ultimate Hitman experience. Returnal looks awesome, and I fear that this game is going to go unnoticed and potentially turn into an underrated title for 2021. Housemarque has created some of the best arcade action titles for the PS4 generation. They started the launch off strong with the addicting Resogun and continued releasing solid titles throughout the generation. Alienation might be my favorite title from them. It has the quality arcade action that you would expect from Housemarque combined with the addictive nature of loot-based RPGs. Returnal is looking to retain that arcade quality, mixed with the production values of a AAA title. Returnal is looking to show off the elements that make this developer so unique, while also trying to explore new areas for the studio. For one, Returnal is looking to tell an engaging narrative within their presented action. There's supposed to be psychological horror of some kind integrated into the game. Returnal has roguelike elements, and if done well, this can all feed into an addictive loop of quality gameplay, engaging progression, and an interesting story. Considering I have really enjoyed this company's games, I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. Kena Bridge of Spirits looks like another smaller game coming out this year with the potential to be awesome. This action-adventure title looks gorgeous and pretty impressive considering the small size of the studio. Outside of the well-presented action, I'm interested in the Pikmin-like use of the spirits. If the game can use them in interesting ways with puzzles and combat, this could add an interesting on-the-fly RTS element to the game. We do not know too much information about this one, but just based on the trailer, I want to keep an eye on it. Being that I'm a huge fan of all 4 Arkham games, and that I find Arkham Origins to be pretty underrated, with WB Montreal getting another opportunity at the Batman license, I'm very excited for Gotham Knights. Arkham Origins did have its fair share of bugs, but it also put Batman's detective elements on full display, and it also told an awesome story. I am also happy to see that this game is not part of the Arkham universe. That series is done and complete, and I'm happy that the developers are diving back into Batman, but in a different way. Gotham Knights has an an interesting setting with a Gotham where Batman has died and the Bat family needs to pick up the mantle. I am totally calling it right now that Batman is not dead, and it will be revealed either later at the end of the game or in a potential sequel that he faked his death for some reason. I would be surprised if they really stuck with Batman being dead. There's 4 playable characters to choose from Batgirl to Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. Each of these 4 different characters are supposed to play very differently from each other, and that could add a lot of replay value. Along with this, the combat looks to be different than the Arkham games, and while I love the combat from those games, I am happy that Gotham Knights is potentially trying to go in a new direction. What is also interesting is how the game is going to be an open world action RPG with solo and drop-in co-op. I do like that this game is not going to be a live service type game either. Like with many games on this list, there's still a lot unknown about this title, but I loved Arkham Origins, so I think this new game is in good hands. Mass Effect is easily one of my favorite series of games out there. While the ending to Mass Effect 3 is really bad and should be redone, 99% of the trilogy is full of great action, memorable characters that I fell in love with, and a wonderful world and story. And yes, I even enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda and found it to be largely underrated. It did have some issues at launch, but I ended up enjoying the new cast along with the stories that the game told, along with the solid combat. BioWare is in a bit of an odd place right now. Their last game was Anthem, and while I enjoyed aspects of it, the game definitely needed work in several areas, especially with its endgame content. And before that, Andromeda did not meet the sales expectations, which resulted in all future DLC getting cancelled. The Mass Effect Legacy Collection, if done right, could be a good way to get a win under BioWare's belt. The remastered collection is including all 3 entries from the original trilogy, and I'm really excited to return back to these games, and I hope that this is done well. Terminator Resistance Enhanced Edition for the PS5 was an unexpected announcement from last year. Terminator Resistance is a great game that respects the first 2 films even more so than the recent movies. The original release featured you playing as a Resistance member during the war against the machines. The gameplay was a nice mix between Far Cry and Fallout in a Terminator setting. The story was solid and rounded out the quality gameplay. This new enhanced version is going to feature a bunch of new updates to the game, along with including the PC exclusive mode where you get to play as a T-800. This summer, there is supposed to be a new expansion as well. This game was an unexpected surprise and underrated, and this new Enhanced Edition will give it another opportunity to shine. Keep an eye on this one. Insomniac is a quality developer that consistently makes good games. It provided Xbox One with one of the best exclusives with Sunset Overdrive. They made a pretty good remake for the original Ratchet & Clank with great graphics and fun gameplay. But the story did get a bit messy because they were trying to do both a game and a movie at once. And they knocked it out of the park with their Spider-Man game. Rift Apart looks like it's going to retain that quality action from the Ratchet & Clank franchise. I am really interested in how you can seamlessly bounce between worlds in this game. I hope it is used more than just a quick means for fast travel. If the mechanic is incorporated into the game's puzzles and interesting combat situations, then that's going to be really impressive.
Bite my crunchy brown ass.
The last game or games that I'm going to talk about is about the hopeful re-release of Timesplitters, or the return of this IP. For the last several years, fans have been working hard on a project called Timesplitters Rewind. Their goal is to recreate the original set of games on PC. This is a completely fan-made project and development is quite slow. They have a YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date on the game. Their work looks impressive and I've been following them for a while. And on top of this, THQ Nordic had acquired the rights to Timesplitters, and now I think it's only a matter of time before they make a remastered collection set of the original trilogy. I absolutely love these games from the PS2 era. They had quality campaigns, humor, solid shooting, loads of options and modes, along with a level editor. The amount of content and options is something that you would not expect a console game to have. While there isn't an official release for TimeSplitters Rewind, nor any official announcements from THQ Nordic about a remaster, I hope that we get some news this year on some of the new releases and a proper return for this series. So these are the games that I'm interested in for this year. I do have a few more games that I want to show after this, but what are some games that you're looking forward to in 2021? Let me know, and thank you very much for watching.